Hello everyone, welcome to Project E. Several months ago, I made a Reapercast video talking about cutting down my collection. At the time, it was a more casual video talking about something where if I ever got to it and I ever went through my cards, I would sort out all the cards I didn't need and start lowering the amount of cards in my collection. I discussed several reasons as to why I needed to cut down my collection, whether it's both financial, improving my gameplay, or simply saving space and time. Which led me to the next video, which was also a Reapercast video. The title was simply called, Let's Get Serious. In that particular video, I talked about changing my gameplay. I wanted to improve, I wanted to take things more seriously, eventually to the point where I would actually be going on to tournaments on a more regular basis. To accomplish that kind of plan, I had to improve myself, and to improve myself, I needed to focus more on the decks that I really wanted to play. So what this meant was I had to cut down decks that I didn't really care about, decks that I didn't have any personal attachment to, and as a result, that was something that was a goal of mine for 2021. And so here we are in 2021, where I've actually now decided to take this a bit more seriously. Hence the commencement of Project E. Project E is a series that I've initiated in hopes to actually cut down my collection. I intend this series to be 12 episodes long, so hopefully by the time I'm actually done with this series, I will have cut down quite a lot of my cards in my collection. As of this current period, I have over 90 different decks. So in each and every single episode, I'll try to cut down as many decks as possible, and I will justify that with my certain reasoning. Sometimes these decks might not even be decks that I've actually profiled on this channel before, because they might be decks that I've just been building for a long time but I've decided to give up on. Some other decks might be decks that I have actually featured on this channel, and to be honest, they might have been quite popular as well. However, due to a lack of personal attachment, I have simply chosen to discard that particular deck simply because I want to focus on decks that are a little bit more on my representation of things. And as a result, this will definitely be one of the hardest things I'll have to do. However, in 12 episodes, I believe that I could cut down my deck from 90, hopefully down to 20, or maybe even 30 would be okay. But it will definitely be quite a difficult goal to accomplish. So I hope you guys actually enjoy this. So without further ado, let's get started with a few of the decks that I've actually chosen to get rid of or give up upon. The first deck that I've chosen to give up on is Dream Mirrors. Dream Mirrors were introduced in Chaos Impact, and at that time it seemed like an interesting deck to build because of its unique artwork, and you know what, I gotta admit, it does have amazing artwork. However, the deck itself was never really good, it was never really amazing to be honest, and as a result, due to its underwhelming force, I just simply decided to give up on it. It was simply becoming more bothersome to actually gather all the cards I need, and I never managed to actually complete my collection. So I've dismantled it and simply put it as part of my bulk, which I'll most likely be getting rid of. The second deck that I've given up on is Gagagas, Go-Go-Go's, and Do-Do-Do's. This was a deck that was something that was meant to be a bit more fun, and I wanted to accumulate all these cards very slowly. However, that didn't really work out for me. It became a really difficult thing to actually accomplish because as newer sets came out, a lot of these cards from the older sets started to be pushed away, and as a result, it was harder to actually ask around and hope that I would actually get any of these cards. With further evaluation, it wasn't really a deck that I would certainly find as a representation of who I was as a duelist, so as a result, I've decided to just discard this deck as well. The third deck that I've chosen to give up on is actually Assault Mode. Yes, this might actually come to quite a surprise for you guys, but Assault Mode was something that I was considering building since I'm actually playing a TG deck. And no, I have not decided to actually get rid of my TG deck. I will be doing a deck profile for that soon, hopefully once I actually get Halki Fibrax, but for the time being, it is currently on the waiting list. However, the TGs did inspire me at one point to actually want to build Assault Mode, but I realized again in a similar case to the former deck I just mentioned, Assault Modes were simply too difficult to accomplish. To get all the old cards was going to be incredibly difficult, and because of that I've simply decided to give up on such a plan. And next we have the fourth deck. The fourth deck is Fortune Ladies. I really wanted to actually build this deck. I thought this deck was quite fun and it was something that I wanted to try out. Now with this particular deck, I have actually played it in the past, but only on Dueling Network. That was back when Dueling Network was actually still a thing, of course. And then I also played it in yugioh Pro as well. However, with that being said, in more recent times, I have not been engaging with the Fortune Lady deck at all, and as a result, I just simply decided to give up on it. I have been accumulating some of the cards, but again, a lot of the older cards were just simply too difficult to attain, so as a result, I've decided to give up on this deck as well. So those were the decks that I've simply given up on. I'm now going to talk about the decks that I've actually decided to get rid of completely in real life that I've actually profiled on this channel before. Now the first deck I've decided to get rid of is actually, believe it or not, Aqua Actress. Aqua Actress was a deck that I've only featured once on this channel, but I did feel that it was pretty underwhelming and I wanted to have a water deck, but to be honest, when I think about it, I could easily just go and buy Mermails, or at least I can make Mermails one of my plans. It's not necessarily easy, but it's a better deck that I would simply prefer to play. Not to mention, my current water deck is Necros, so you're really not holding up a candle to that particular light. And as a result, I've decided to discard Aqua Actresses. And the final deck that I've actually chosen to give up on is Crawlers. Sadly for Crawlers, I have built this deck many times over and I've actually profiled it quite a few times on this channel, and by now there are plenty of variants that I've actually showcased, so I hope you guys actually did enjoy all those deck profiles, but I think it's time. I think I have to get rid of the deck now. It served me for quite a long time and it was a deck that I was actually quite into and quite focused on for about 2 or 3 years, so it definitely did annoy quite a few of my mates, a few people from locals, but I think it's over. I think it's something I have to put away. And as of recent, I did actually put it away. I sorted out my cards, I split everything I needed versus everything I didn't need, and ultimately I've gotten rid of all my crawler cards and put them as part of my bulk to be sold off. So for all of you guys who have actually enjoyed all my deck profiles, thank you for all this time, but it is a deck that doesn't really represent who I am as a duelist, so I will be giving up the deck. This was definitely one of the hardest decks for me to actually decide to get rid of, but it had to be done. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular video. I will set it up as a new series with a new playlist on this channel, and by 12 episodes I'll be getting rid of a lot more decks to come. But if you enjoyed this video, then definitely leave a like, share this video as it really helps, and also comment down your thoughts on what you think about this particular project. Of course, don't forget to subscribe so you know when the next video comes out, and of course when the next episode of Project E comes out. However, with that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time.